Do you ever feel like no matter how hard you try, something always pushes you back? It's like adversity is constantly challenging us, and no matter how much effort we put into things, it feels like luck is always against us. Epictetus, a Greek philosopher, once said that there are things we can control and things we cannot. Our opinions, preferences, desires, and actions are among those that are within our control. But things like our body, wealth, reputation, and authority, they are beyond our control. For him and the other Stoics, living a fulfilling life without excessive worry or mental disturbance comes down to understanding what is within our control and what is not. And our responsibility is to focus our energy on the things we can control and let go of the things we cannot. Now, one of the biggest challenges we face as human beings is the opinions and judgments of others. Despite our efforts not to, we'll inevitably be influenced, either positively or negatively, by what others think. But we can avoid being swayed by them. The key is to remember that we have no control over other people's opinions, let alone insults or any other personal attack. Fortunately, Epictetus gives us some valuable insights on how to handle it when someone offends us. In his famous book, Manual of Life, he talks about how we can achieve a state of mind that helps us minimize or even eliminate suffering caused by other people's judgments. The 8 Stoic principles he mentioned are what we'll be discussing in this video. By mastering these principles, we overcame every obstacle that came our way, and we want to share them with you today so that you can do the same. Number 1. When you are offended, do not let it consume your thoughts. Epictetus mentioned that if someone was asked to offer their body to the very first stranger they met on their journey, it would definitely tick them off. And yet, why do people do something like that to their minds? They allow their minds to be confused or deceived by the insults said to them. To him, it's crucial to give equal respect to both your mind and your body. It's interesting how we wouldn't just let a stranger into our house every day, knowing the potential threat it poses. But when we get insulted and take it personally, that person somehow gets access to our thoughts, which can stick with us for days. We need to stop letting offenses invade our minds. To reach a point where you can let go of negative emotions caused by offenses, it's important to develop discipline and self-control. When you feel angry, for example, try to hold back and not let it consume you. This rule applies to every aspect of life, even when dealing with family. You'll save yourself from unnecessary suffering and find a deeper sense of inner contentment. Number 2, practice premeditatio malorum. Practicing Stoicism to handle others' opinions involves a powerful exercise called premeditatio malorum, or anticipating evils. It's all about mentally preparing ourselves for potential criticism, judgments, or negative perspectives that may come our way. By anticipating obstacles, we become better equipped to overcome them and stay prepared for life's inevitable ups and downs. This practice helps us stay calm and clear, even in challenging moments. Now, the purpose of anticipating evil isn't to indulge in pessimism or fear. It's about building emotional resilience and developing a mindset that can effectively handle obstacles. By reflecting on potential negative events, we can come up with strategies and plans to address them more efficiently. What's more, it also allows us to cultivate emotional detachment from desired outcomes. It's about recognizing that we can't always control external circumstances. After all, we need to accept that negative events are a natural part of the human experience. By being aware of these possibilities, we can protect ourselves from being influenced by others' comments and judgments. Ultimately, embracing the practice of anticipating evils empowers us to navigate the opinions of others with composure. It allows us to stay true to ourselves no matter what others say. Number 3. If you know you are doing the right thing, don't repress your actions. According to Epictetus, it's important to do what you believe is right, regardless of what others may think. So never be ashamed of your actions if you know they're right. Always act with integrity. If you're doing the right thing, there's no need to worry about what others might say. This can be quite difficult to apply in the age of social media. It's become quite common to rely on online popularity or seek validation from others for our happiness. But here's the thing. This can sometimes lead us astray from doing what we truly believe is right because of the misconceptions others may have about our actions. At this point, we're not even acting for ourselves anymore. Rather, it's for the sake of others. Instead of constantly seeking external validation and worrying about what others think, let's take a leaf out of Stoicism's book. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our own virtues, to understand ourselves on a deeper level, and to embrace our own values. Regardless of what others may think or say, let's act in accordance with our own beliefs and judgments. Number 4. It is up to you to feel insulted. Epictetus believes that it's actually up to us to decide if we will be offended by someone else's actions. When someone provokes you, just remember that it's actually your own opinion that's causing the provocation in the first place. What does that mean? The emotional discomfort caused by insults comes from how we personally respond to them. So, when someone puts you down, for instance, the effect of their insult depends on how much you let it get to you. One of the key principles in not caring about what others think is realizing that insults or offenses don't really have any power. When you refuse to let insults get to you, you actually come out stronger and more resilient. Reacting negatively only gives the insulter what they want. But if you stay calm and don't react, you totally turn the tables on them. So when someone insults you, ask yourself, do I want to let it get to me, or do I want to rise above it? Number 5. Don't change who you are to achieve popularity. Epictetus says we shouldn't stress about the thought of living in dishonor or feeling insignificant anywhere. Why? Because the opinions of others shouldn't have the power to make us unhappy. Our worth lies in the things that we can control and where our choices have the most significance. In this day and age, this principle is really important. How many times have we felt the pressure to seek approval from others by doing things that go against what we really want? We can see the negative effects of constantly seeking validation, especially on social media. Maybe it's time to take a step back and think. Is it really worth sacrificing our true selves for a temporary feeling of satisfaction? Should we really let other people's opinions control our mental well-being? And what about popularity? Does it actually bring long-lasting happiness? The reality is that if we base our happiness on being popular, we'll just be stuck in a constant battle of always chasing something that's just out of reach. And you know what? It's exhausting. We'll end up constantly changing who we are just to fit in or stay on top. It's time we break free from that cycle and embrace our true selves, don't you think? Number 6. You can only be hurt by others if you allow them to. One of Epictetus's famous principles is that no one can really harm you unless you let them. For him, others can only cause harm if you believe you've been hurt by what they said or did. That's why instead of dwelling on what's bothering you, focus on how you handle it. Remember that you're in control of your thoughts. As such, if someone disrespects you, for instance, it's better not to waste your precious time on them. It won't bring any improvement to your life. In fact, it'll just mess with your mood. Number 7. Identify your purpose and be firm with it. Epictetus gave a warning about pursuing your life's purpose. He said to expect ridicule, tears from the crowd, mockery, and accusations of arrogance. But he stressed not to let that get to you. This principle is crucial because it shows how people often sacrifice their true talents or calling just to please others, particularly those who disagree with what they do. His message is that if we let fear of others' opinions stop us from pursuing our purpose, we end up looking foolish in 2 ways. First, because we tried but couldn't follow through. And second, because we let others have too much influence over us. But let's not get this concept twisted. If you stumbled or gave up on your purpose, it doesn't mean your efforts were in vain. The ridicule only happens when you give up on your dreams just to avoid social friction. And that's the real problem. But isn't it worth enduring a little discomfort or even judgment from others if it means being true to yourself and eventually finding happiness? It can be a challenge, but it's something you can do. Just keep reminding yourself that you won't let other people's opinions define who you are or limit your potential. Consider your priorities and purpose. Trust the genuine reasons that guide your life choices. Number 8. Not everyone views the world the same way you do. When someone speaks badly of you or hurts you, it's important to remember that they're acting based on their own perspective of what's right. According to Epictetus, we can't expect others to conform to our moral standards. And people may not act in line with our view of what's right. Each person has their own unique perspective of the world. And the only person who truly knows and understands you is yourself. So if a stranger insults you, ask yourself if you've done anything wrong. If the answer is no, try to analyze why they're insulting you. Chances are you won't have an answer for that. Therefore, if you know you've acted with integrity, yet someone insults you and you don't understand their motives, there's no need to feel regret. Instead, be patient and tolerant towards them. Just recognize that their perception is different from yours. Here are 2 more videos you may find interesting. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share the video with your friends, and for more interesting videos like this, subscribe to the channel.